right, here's our rotator cuff stability exercises. We're gonna go against a rack here. You can go against a wall, but for most of our athletes are gonna be have access to a rack, so we'll show here. And I'll kind of show you how maybe a door frame might be best. But we'll start here. I'm gonna go right side, this is my throwing arm. I'm gonna put my fist right against the rack, go right leg back, and we're gonna get into a good isometric press. Okay, so the shoulder is down, I'm not raising up, elbows by your side. I'm trying to press as much as I can. Make sure you're using your arm on this instead of just leaning into it. So I'm standing tall, I'm pressing against the rack or the wall here, so I'm able to maintain good posture and good positioning while I do this. So I'm gonna press forward. Typically everything we do forward, we're gonna do in the opposite position. Again, feet are split apart here, hand down by my side. I'm pressing back against the rack as hard as I can, not losing posture or position. Now I'm going to get into an internal and external rotation. So we'll start with external here. So I'm going to put the back of my fist against the rack. I'm going to push out as hard as I can. I'm going to stay in this good position where I'm at 90-90, hand down by my side. I'm going to push, push, push. We're going to do this for a designated amount of time on our exercises. And so what we like to do here is once we get that external rotation activated, I like to go to end range too. So after I do, let's call this 10, 15, 20 seconds of an isometric work, I'm gonna get into max range of motion. So we're working external rotation by our side. So now I'm getting to pretty much end range. And from that end range, that's where I wanna put the rack. And then we're trying to work as far out as I can. The rack's obviously not gonna move, but if I feel like I'm gaining a little bit of external rotation, I can kind of migrate my body forward, get me in more external rotation, try to work that end range. This is a pretty tough drill here. You'll start to see yourself shaking. Make sure the elbow doesn't leave the side. So I'm not trying to go all the way out here. My elbow leaves and I feel like I'm getting external rotation and all I'm doing is pressing my arm out to the side. So elbow stays locked in. I get to maximum external rotation. I'm gonna put the rack right there. Press as hard as I can. So that's our external rotation by our side, as well as external rotation at end range. We'll do the same thing for internal. So I'm here, hands down by my side. I'm kind of with my full fist or open hand. I'm pressing against the rack here. Again, don't lean into it. Standing with good posture. Try to press in as hard as I can. We'll do that for the time. And then we can do the same thing at external rotation, kind of end range. And we can press in. Make sure the elbow doesn't come in and it's not going to the side. We'll do this for time. This allows us to maintain great posture. It's really good for athletes coming off of injury as well because we're not going through all of our ranges of motion with bands and weights. This is an isometric press. We can control everything here and try to get to that end range of motion. So we've gone internal and external by our side, and now we're going to go up to external rotation at 90 degrees. I'll start with internal. So I'm behind the rack, good posture. This is right here at 90 degrees at my armpit. 90 degrees at the elbow. I'm trying to push in with my hand. I'm not pushing with my whole arm, so my whole forearm is not necessarily applying pressure. It's just like I'm knocking on the door here. So either full fist or open hand. We'll press in, great posture. Again, I'm not leaning so much into it. I'm trying to press with my hand through the wall. My forearm is attached to the rack, but I'm not leaning against it. I'm not applying pressure with my forearm. Okay, so we can do that. And then we'll also go, if you have access to like a bar or something here, we can get into a little bit of layback and apply some pressure on internal rotation, but I'm more concerned about this one being external rotation. So we'll just start at 90 degrees here. If you do want to get a little bit of layback and apply some pressure, that's fine. Just make sure you stay in a good posture with your shoulder and it doesn't go forward. So that's more for our advanced athletes, making sure that scap stays set. We get into some external rotation, then we can pull. So now we're gonna go external here, 90-90, so I'm in front of the rack, I'm working external rotation. We're trying to go as hard as I can. This is the tougher drill of all the ones we've done. Good posture, eyes are forward, chest up. Hand is pushing back into the rack. You can't really tell that I'm doing anything, but there's a lot of force, or I'm trying to apply a lot of force into the rack. Now we're gonna get into external rotation for as much as I can. Knuckles are against the rack or the wall. I'm not elevating my rib cage, so I have good normal posture here. I'm keeping my other hand on the bottom of my rib cage to make sure I don't elevate. So great posture, arms are forward, or chest is forward, eyes are forward. I'm at in range. You'll probably see yourself start to shake a little bit with the hand. Make sure the elbow does not drop here, and also make sure we're not flaring with the chest. So good posture, maximum range of motion. If you're right here and this is max range, then put the rack there. If you can get more range of motion, then kind of walk yourself forward. As you do this drill, you might end up getting a little bit better range of motion, so you might want to walk forward 1/2 inch to 1 inch, get some more external rotation, make sure our posture is good. Try to press through that rack as much as you can. So we'll go down by our side, internal and external, and press and row. And then we'll also do the same thing up at 90 degrees.